What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into AWS SQS. SQS stands for Simple Queue Service. This service is often used to decouple distributed applications for producer slash consumer delivery. So, what is a producer? A producer is a service or could be a function that produces a message to send to the queue. An example of this could be like if you have a e-commerce site, this could be your shopping cart. So when someone goes into your site, they click checkout and the item is successfully paid for. That shopping cart could produce a message that lands in a SQS queue, and then the consumer of that, which could be a Lambda function or some other service in your ecosystem. This could be once the producer sent that message, the consumer could say, okay, this item has been paid for. Now it's time to go pull that item off the shelf. And that's basically what your consumer does. So your consumer holds the queue for inbound messages, and the producer submits messages to the queue. So that's your producer consumer delivery pattern. So basically, what this allows for is the communication um, of your application to be asynchronous and to scale independently. So in a lot of monolithic applications, instead of just spinning up another service or another node, you would have to build out another whole API layer, for example. Whereas with the producer consumer pattern, all you have to do is if, let's say Prime Day or Black Friday or something like that was going on, and you still have this e commerce site, you can scale up the number of producer or producer or consumer services that you have, and they would all just be pulling from this distributed SQS queue. So, how do you interact with the SQS queue? You can use either the AWS CLI or the AWS SDK, depending on what programming language that you're using. So, let's take a look at some of the benefits of using it. So, the top benefit is security. You control who can send messages to and receive messages from an SQS queue. You can choose to transmit sensitive data by protecting the contents of messages and queues by using the default SQS managed SSE server-side encryption, or by using custom SSS keys. Next up, durability. For the safety of your messages, Amazon stores them on multiple servers. Standard queues support at least once message delivery, and FIFO queues support exactly once message processing and high throughput mode. So I'll do a separate video on those two. Availability, Amazon queues, Amazon SQS uses redundant infrastructure to provide high concurrent access to messages and high availability for producing and consuming messages. We talked about that. Scalability, Amazon SQS can process each buffered request independently, scaling transparently to handle any load increases or spikes without provisioning instructions. So that's a benefit there of going to the cloud. Like, you don't have to stand up new queues to or new hardware to support these queues. You get it out of the box with AWS. Reliability, Amazon SQS locks your messages during processing so that multiple producers can send and multiple consumers can receive messages at the same time. And then customization, your queues don't have to be exactly alike. For example, you can set a default delay on a queue and store the contents of messages larger than 1 megabyte using Amazon S3. So basic architecture of a SQS queue. Let's zoom in here a little. Okay, basic architecture. So, like I said, this would be used in a distributed system. But basically, you have your system components here on the left, and then you have your SQS queues on the right. You'll notice that message A has been sent to several different queues. It just doesn't go to one server queue. And then let's walk through this scenario. So component one sends message A to the queue. Visibility timeout set to 40 seconds. So you'll see component one sends message A to the queue, and it immediately hits 4 different servers. Component two retrieves message A from the queue, and the visibility timeout period starts. And then component two processes a message and then deletes it from the queue during the visibility timeout. So this is an important step here, that immediate delete. So as soon as a consumer picks that message up off the queue, you immediately want it to delete it. So first it's going to verify the body of the message, and if it's a valid message, it's going to go ahead and delete it off the queue so none of the other consumer processes can pick it up. And yeah, this is basically what we just talked about. So no, Amazon SQS automatically deletes messages that have been in a queue for more than the maximum message retention period. The default message retention period is 4 days. So, like I said, just a quick intro on what is a SQS queue and a couple of uses of the application. So, like I said, I'll do a follow-up video on the different type of queues that are supported by SQS. At any rate, thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel.